This video summarizes a section of the book Sex, Family and the Woman in Society, 1987, by the magnificent truth seeker Torkom Saraydarian. The author spent his entire life seeking answers to his questions about the mystery of man and the universe. This profound section of the book will spark a deeper understanding of the importance of semen retention and the terrible consequences of sexually abusing ourselves. Sexual promiscuity is on the rise. Almost 75% of young adults use dating apps worldwide. People have no idea of the destructive effects of sleeping with multiple people. Oral sex has become a normal thing between partners. But do they know that this destroys their masculinity and femininity? What has humanity come to? Join us in this eye-opening video as we explore the devastating effects of our unnatural sexual habits to our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. And surely, by the end of the video, you will have gained a deeper understanding about the mechanics of your sexual energy and embrace the natural path of semen retention. It is an esoteric fact that waste of sexual energy can have detrimental effects on specific aspects of mental well-being. As seen in our previous videos, it is scientifically proven that semen retention, or continence, is a recommended practice to enhance our overall well-being. Individuals involved in elevated creative endeavors and abstract cognition should prioritize the conservation of sexual energy. This prudent approach fosters the successful development of creativity, understanding, and higher inspiration. Strategic preservation or judicious utilization of sexual energy contributes significantly to the overall enhancement of one's personality. Sexual energy permeates the aura, establishing a magnetic mechanism crucial for securing elevated impressions. When this substance is compromised or absent, the correct reception of impressions is hindered, leading to confusion in interpretation. The author describes a story of a student that approached his teacher and he said, "My mind is not together. I'm becoming lazy, diffused, forgetful, and irritable. I have many problems." The teacher looked into his eyes and asked, "How many women do you love?" "3," he answered. "You need to stay in the monastery for 6 months to restore your brain," the teacher said. The student stayed in the monastery after making arrangements to take care of his family. He attended classes and participated in sacred dances, sports, and labor. The teacher did not let him have a moment's rest from 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. The results were amazing. He became a new man. I remember the teacher saying to him, "Excessive sex disturbs the rhythm and harmony of your mental atoms, and you hallucinate instead of thinking clearly. It even causes visual deceptions. The section of your mind that records events mixes the events of the past and present, and you experience mental chaos. You develop hypocrisy, and eventually you hate yourself." This is why semen retention is the first step to actually loving ourselves. We are then able to transmute those thoughts related to sex into the actual creative use of our thoughts of productivity. Might that be for self-improvement and other endeavors that would benefit mankind? Intercourse involves a deep connection with someone of the opposite sex on physical, emotional, and mental levels. When you connect with another person, you also share their life's experiences, which can be positive or negative. To avoid accumulating others' karma and pollution, it's essential to have a committed monogamous relationship. Engaging in sexual relations multiplies our life's experiences and may create long-term bonds, and sometimes make us indebted to the other person forever. Their karma ties us to them until we pay it. The teaching says it is best to have only one wife or husband. In this way, a couple can gradually build real fusion or unity on all levels. This is the goal of marriage. Most people find it challenging to be very strict in their sexual conduct. For those on a spiritual journey, committed to significant service, it's advisable to minimize personal burdens and debts. It's important to remember that progress on the spiritual path and the extent of our service are directly related to our karmic debts. Past karma can often hold individuals back from entering higher states of consciousness and keep them tied to a mundane existence. Having multiple sexual partners increases your ties. Often these ties prevent you from having freedom to advance in service. Those who stay together for longer periods or even for many lives evoke deeper beauty from each other. Those who are married and have affairs with others create serious complications in their families, especially in the lives of their children. Masturbation is an abuse of sexual energy. Masturbation is very unhealthy for men, women, and children. It creates a tremendous pressure in the gray matter of the brain. The pineal and pituitary glands are affected, and mental concentration is weakened. There is a great difference between intercourse and masturbation. In intercourse, the man's aura and the woman's aura mix, and their etheric, emotional, and mental counterparts slowly adjust with each other, filling the reservoir with the creative sexual energy used during intercourse. In masturbation, the reservoir of energies which creates and replenishes the sexual energy is not formed. In masturbation, one draws upon his reserves and wastes them. So much pressure is put on the grey matter of the brain from the depletion of energies brought about by masturbation, that lack of concentration, lack of daring and creativity, and even insanity can result. In healthy sexual intercourse, with respect and pure love between the couple, the man absorbs the woman's energies and the woman absorbs the man's energies. The energy which is absorbed replaces the secretions released during intercourse. That energy creates etheric energy which recharges the blood. In masturbation, there is no exchange or absorption of energies. There is only loss. Furthermore, during masturbation, a person creates sexual thought forms which are difficult to eliminate. Another form of sexual abuse which is very harmful is oral sex. Oral sex destroys the aura's equilibrium and harmonious vibration. If a woman gives fellatio to the man, it causes her to absorb the man's energy without returning any. There is no etheric and astral exchange in this way. The author mentions that in some medical books that he has read, that semen is tremendous nourishment for women in oral sex. Women may benefit, but men eventually collapse. Men develop serious diseases when they lose energy without replenishment. One doctor cited the case of a man who became very nervous, lost weight, and eventually lost control of his mind because of oral sex. Oral sex can be very dangerous for the woman, as her mouth absorbs any germs or disorders from the man's physical organs and sex center. Also, because the throat center has a different, higher vibration than the sex center, it can become damaged from this incorrect merging. Men also absorb germs and damage their throat centers by engaging in oral sex. Oral sex is considered regressive, moving toward more animal-like behavior. It can cause significant interference between the throat and sex centers when combined forcefully. In oral sex, the throat center and the etheric sex center mix, leading to complicated issues. Connecting the throat center with another person's sex center reduces the frequency of the throat center and results in a loss of creative energy. When a woman engages in oral sex, it can disrupt her system by introducing the lower, rougher vibrations of the sex center into her throat center, causing an imbalance. If a woman is highly creative, like an artist or singer, even a short period of oral sex can lead to significant issues in her sexual organs. It's worth noting that many women who have undergone hysterectomies have also practiced oral sex. Hysterectomies is the complete removal of the uterus. Oral sex alters the auras of both partners. The man becomes more feminine and the woman becomes more masculine. This happens because in oral sex, the woman channels to the man the female principle, and the man channels to the woman the male principle. Having sex early in the morning can be harmful and may lead to heart problems. When practicing semen retention, you'll notice more energy in the morning. This energy should be used to visualize your day and achieve the plans you have in mind. However, when you use this energy for morning intercourse, it can leave you feeling tired and drained, making it challenging to tackle daily tasks and stress, leading to increased irritability. If you have a headache in the morning after having intercourse the night before, it is a sign that something is wrong. There can be many causes for it, so you must find the right one. The headache could be caused by lack of energy. The sexual act is related to the liver, the heart, the brain, the spinal fluid, and every chakra. In the mental body, there is also a sex center, which is related to everything that you are. This center can be damaged in various ways and cause impotency or a feeling of sexual rejection. For example, if during intercourse you are shocked by bad news, an explosion, or some kind of interference, this center closes up and is often damaged. If your partner creates jealousy, irritation, or disturbances in you by talking about other women or men while you are having sex, the sex center in the mental body becomes damaged. If the damage is serious enough, you first feel sexual repulsion, then you develop impotency or frigidity. Rape is another form of sexual abuse. A man who rapes a woman is drinking a cup of poison. When a man forces a woman to have sex with him, her aura becomes poisonous for him. All the irritation, imperil, negativity, and karmic poisons in the aura of the woman enter the aura of the man. The rapist becomes even sicker mentally. He starts to fail in his business, and he becomes a greater problem to society. One, sexual abuse can weaken the immune system, making it important to refrain from sex if you notice signs of illness to allow your body to recover. 2. Sexual abuse weakens the nervous system and makes you shaky. Test whether you are having too much sex by stretching out your fingers and seeing if they tremble. Another test is to see whether you can stand on one foot without leaning, wobbling, or moving at all. Semen retention is a great way to stabilize the nervous system, creating an aura of calmness and peace around the practitioner. 3. Sexual abuse can lead to laziness and sleepiness, causing inertia. When people struggle to find a job, I often ask them about their sexual activity. Abstaining for a few months can often lead to job opportunities. Feeling excessively tired can be a sign of low energy levels, and sleep is the body's way of conserving energy. Wasting sexual energy can result in tiredness and laziness. Practicing semen retention makes it easier to wake up early, complete tasks efficiently, and maintain enthusiasm and interest in various aspects of life, including relationships with family and friends. Enthusiasm and interest are fueled by sexual energy, and lacking it can make you less engaging or interested in others. 4. With sexual abuse, the color of the body becomes pale, and the tissue around the eyes becomes dark. The voice becomes hoarse, lower, and unclear, and it loses its energy. Singers immediately notice the effects of sexual abuse. I knew a great voice teacher in the Middle East who had a special soprano student with an outstanding voice. One day, the student told the teacher she was going to be married. The teacher told her, "I hope you will be moderate in sex, because if you are not, you may lose your voice." The woman married a young man, did not follow her teacher's advice, and gradually lost the outstanding quality of her voice. Singing is related to the sex and throat centers. To be a great singer does not mean that you can never have sex. However, you cannot waste your energy and continue to be a great singer. 5. Sexual abuse leads to impotency at an early age. I have counseled thousands of people, and most of their problems stem from impotency and frigidity. These are two of the major causes for divorce. Usually when I inquire into the background of such people, I find that they started having sex when very young. Every real genius and server of humanity has control over and sublimation of his sex drive. A well-known Russian ballet dancer once told me that he had sex with his wife only once a month or once every 2 months. It's because I can't dance if I have it more often, he said. The energy and the elasticity for dancing come from the accumulation of sexual energy. 6. Because of sexual abuse, weaknesses develop in our relationships with others. Those who can live together the longest are those who economize and practice semen retention or continence for most of the year. The ties of relationships slowly weaken and dissolve when sexual energy is wasted. 7. A person who abuses sex may have weak or retarded offspring, or offspring who have a strong inclination towards sex at an early age. Whatever you are, you will produce the same kind. Such energies are so embedded in your aura that you will pass these same urges and drives on to your children. A normal child does not even think about sex until age 16 or 17. 8. Sexual abuse leads to sickness and problems in life. Number 9. If a person's body is still growing when he starts to abuse his sexual energy, his body will not reach its full height. A child who abuses sexual energy will often stop growing after age 16. This is a very serious condition when we consider that normally a young woman can grow until age 27. 10. Sexual abuse weakens the eyesight. 11. Sexual abuse weakens the heart and may lead the person to heart disease. 12. Sexual abuse may lead to cancer. The cells of the body work overtime to replace the energy drained by sexual abuse. 13. Sexual abuse may lead to various complications on the different organs of the body. 14. Those who abuse their sexual energy live 20 to 30 years less than they normally would have. I know many men who died young, in their 30s and 40s, as a result of wasting sexual energy, particularly through masturbation. 15. Sexual abuse damages the pineal, pituitary, and carotid glands. The emotional effects of sexual abuse are nervousness, the urge to gossip, nosiness, irritability, destructiveness, indifference to responsibility and duties, desire to steal and an inclination toward crime, jealousy, selfishness, pessimism, a sense of isolation and wanting to be alone, hatred for the beauty in others, sneakiness, loss of magnetism of the aura. The mental effects of sexual abuse are loss of moral principles, no drive for achievement, lack of striving to know, to serve, to lead, mental diffusion, no higher goals, no contact with the inner guide, attempting to exploit people, misleading others, development of hatred and separatism, lying, vanity, showing off, and various complicated mental problems and insanity coming to the surface. The spiritual effects of sexual abuse include the following. 1. The person is prevented from contacting higher spiritual energies. Celibacy is important before expansion of consciousness and initiations. This is why semen retention and a pure mind makes a man spiritual and unlocks the power of intuition. It's as if they are connected with the divine. 2. The knowledge petals lose energy and cannot unfold. As a result, wisdom is lacking on the 3 levels of the personality and the person falls into confusion. The knowledge petals are found in each personality vehicle as a reservoir of knowledge and wisdom. When these petals are burned by sexual abuse, the person hears voices from the etheric and astral planes and no longer has control over his own speech. 3. The person can become obsessed. 4. The throat center becomes damaged. 5. creative energy decreases in the mental body and the person cannot formulate or evoke higher concepts. 6. Ugly imagination develops. 7. The aura becomes polluted and contact with the forces of nature is hindered. The aura is the mechanism of impressions. Only a pure aura is magnetic enough to allow the person to be approached by devas or masters. 8. Telepathic communication stops. 9. Karma drastically increases for the person. 10. Relationships become very complicated. 11. Their children's future is ruined. When you fail to maintain semen retention or misuse sexual energy, your love energy diminishes. This can result in depression, failure, harmful behaviors, irresponsibility, health issues, and even thoughts of self-harm. A lack of mental well-being can lead to negative influences in various aspects of life. Politics becomes corrupt, education becomes manipulative, communication becomes divisive, art loses its integrity, religion becomes extreme, and economics experiences deficits and economic downturns.